this is Heidi and I'll show you how to process return here in eBay. So on our eBay account, on the upper right corner, go to selling. So once you're in the selling section, on the left part, you would see returns. Okay, so here will be the list of the return request that was opened by your buyer. So there are 3 types of return. One will be PUDO return. Second will be return buyer pays. And the third one will be return seller pays. So the PUDO return will be those items that are delivered or that were delivered to Argos Click and Collect services and were not picked up by the customer. So one example of that will be for this buyer. For this buyer. So view return details. I'll show you how it looks like. So here you go. So on the PUDO return, you would see comments, PUDO return, and then they will eBay will upload the tracking detail. So it will be Royal Mail, and then you would see. So technically, if it's a PUDO return, it will not be delivered to your supplier's warehouse. It will be delivered to the address that is on the account. So it will be delivered to the seller's address, not to the address on the label or the label you have you will supposedly provide. Okay, so that will be sellers. That will be PUDO return. So for the return that buyer pays, I'll show you this one. How will we know if the buyer or the seller needs to, either the seller or the buyer needs to pay for the return? So you would see the comment here in this section. So when we open the return of buyer with Kotakia, here's the result. So you would see accept the return, contact the buyer to work out return postage details, wait to get the item back before you refund the buyer. So in this case, for this return, you are not required to pay for the return postage. You can provide a label in a separate message. You can provide a label in a separate message so that it will be returned to your so it will be returned to your supplier's warehouse. So in this case, they provided you can go to send the buyer a message. You can create a message here and add the photos from your computer. Okay, so this will be. So what will happen if we'll click the accept the return? If we'll click the accept the return, it will technically if you click the accept the return, it will only eBay will ask you to confirm your address. So this will be a buyer's or this will be a return that buyer pays. Technically, seller is not required to return or to pay for the return postage. Mostly the reasons for buyer pays were unwanted items, ordered by mistake, those most or unwanted items are wrong items sent. So for the return that doesn't work or defective, this will require the seller to provide a return label. So since this has been started now, so if for example, if the buyer just opened the return, it will provide, or there will be 3 options, just like, or there will be 4 options just like this request. There will still be accept the return, give a full refund, offer a partial refund, or send the buyer a message. However, instead of seeing contact the buyer to work out return postage details, you will see a notification or a message that will require you to pay for the postage. It will tell you you need to provide a label, or eBay will provide a label, and they can send the item, or the buyer can send the item using the label that was provided by eBay. Okay, so if it's a return seller pays, when you click the accept the return, there will be 3 options also. First will be buy a label through eBay, which will cost you around £2 and some cents. And the second one will be upload your own label, and the third one will be confirm you already sent a label. So you can use the upload your own label and the confirm you already sent a label. So you can send a label separately through eBay's email and upload. And once you got the label from your manufacturer or your supplier, then you can send it to the buyer directly, so they can also directly send the item to the warehouse itself. Okay, so that's how we process our return here in eBay.